We were so happy. All of us. So much to live for, so full of hope. Please, God, let Sarah's death mean something. Let it bring us closer together.
Thank you, Heron. I'll do it. Viki. Oh, just the person I wanted to see. These are a token of love and care from our family to your family. Of course, we are very much the same family these days, though, aren't we?
Thank you.
It's just to show that we are grieving with you at this time. How are you holding up?
I am...
You must be absolutely exhausted, what with the memorial service and everything else.
Not really.
I really must tell you, Viki, that it was... seeing the Buchanans, they were so courageous and inspiring at the service. It was so touching, especially in this day and age.
Stop. Gabrielle, I am very glad to see you.
Thank you. I'm very glad to see you too, Viki.
Because I am concerned about Max. How is he?
Well, it's funny you should say that. I have a very important proposition for you.
Would you tell me what's going on, please? I come into the bar with Greg, and there you are, drunk out of your mind. And then you throw a punch, and Tony throws a punch, and before I know it, Greg is knocked out.
Nora, do I look drunk to you? I just threw some scotch on my neck to make it look convincing. We set up that whole thing to get you away from Greg. You're safe now. Nobody's gonna hurt you, and nobody's gonna stop you from telling me everything. So let's have it. And why don't you start with why you married that bozo Greg Ellis in the first place?
So many memories. Whole lifetime. What do I have to remember her by? The bracelet she made in summer camp.
But she made it for you. I mean, that makes it kind of special, don't you think?
Yeah. Poor Beau, he has a whole house full of her things, each one a painful reminder. I told him that I'd go over today and help him sort through Sarah's things. But I can't stand the thought of looking through her stuff.
Tell you what, I'll go over with you and help you.
Well, what about Charlotte?
Well, while you're changing, I'll call the hospital and I'll find out how she's doing, and then we can drive over together. Deal?
Deal.
Good.
Do you know, Mr. Harrison, I think I would be lost without you.
Glad to hear it. Now go change. Here you go. I'll get it. Carlo, what the hell are you doing here?
What the hell is my son-in-law doing in another woman's apartment?
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one night to live.
It was a delivery man. I signed for this, though, if that's okay.
What is it? More flowers and sympathy cards and...
No, it's a package for Sarah, actually. From the Llanfair nursery.
Oh.
What is it?
Nothing.
Yes, it is, Beau. Tell me what it is.
Some tulips that she ordered last spring.
Oh. Tulips. Must be time to plant them, huh?
Plant them before the frost. She wanted to have all colors planted all around the house. She planned a big spring garden.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Yeah. the way Sarah was. She saw the world as color, beauty. Guess she was wrong, huh? Pretty cold and hard. It's like the ground in the dead of winter. Nothing can really grow, nothing can prosper unless you're... Yeah, Carlo Hesser, Fred Porter, those guys, they go on. Sarah... Damn it, this whole thing is just not fair!
Go ahead and throw it if you want.
No, it's not gonna really do any good. There's people at the church mission that need this stuff. She was always taking them stuff. It's one of her favorite charities.
What do you think that Sarah would want us to do now?
She'd want us to fold up all of her stuff very nicely, pack it in boxes, tape it up, and deliver it to Father Patterson.
Why don't we do that? I know it's not going to change anything, and it is something that you could do. Something for you and for Sarah.
Jake, who was that?
Megan, I assure you that I just...
Stop it! It's not enough that you show up at Sarah's memorial service, is it? No, you have to come here and torture me in my own home? What is the matter with you?
Believe me, I went to your sister's service out of a deep need of my own personal guilt. That same need brought me here this evening. All I ask is that you allow me to prove that my sympathy is sincere. Please, Megan. I want to set up a trust for your sister, yes. The Sarah Buchanan Fund for the Blind.
Oh, that'd be great. Then you can maybe launder some money through there or use it as a crack house, something like that.
Megan, your sister devoted her life to helping the blind. The fund would be a continuation of her work, a living memorial.
Why are you doing this, Carlo? To clear your conscience?
It would ease the guilt somewhat. But more importantly, it would continue her work.
You don't know anything about Sarah. And you know less about her work. She was nothing like you. She was kind and considerate. And she helped people out of the goodness of her heart. Not to buy her way into heaven like you.
I don't need to be told how good she was.
Look, you took my sister away from me. I'll be damned if I'm going to let you have an ounce of her goodness.
No, I'm not taking anything away.
Yeah, well, it's too late. It's just too late to give. It's too late to give, Carlo. Too late for you and too late for Sarah. Because all the money in the world, all the pretty little flowers, all your kind words, it's not going to bring Sarah back. And it's certainly not going to wipe her blood off your hands. So just get out of here. Get out of my apartment.
Megan. Clear enough for you, Carlo? I think she wants you to leave.
I didn't think I'd find you here. Especially since my daughter is in the hospital.
Well, it's time you understand a few things, Carlo.
I think you should understand that a husband's first loyalty is to his wife. Charlotte is out of the intensive care unit. I'll see you in her new hospital room in about 60 minutes tops. You don't want to miss the visiting hours now, do you, Jake?
Oh, Viki, the speech that you made at the service. I don't know what meant more to me, hearing the words that you said, or just knowing the courage that it took for you to stand there and say them.
Gabrielle, the proposition.
Oh, yes. Well, I might as well come right out and say it. I would like to throw Tina a shower.
A shower? How do you... Aren't you jumping the gun a little? They're not married yet.
Oh, you thought I meant a baby shower. Oh, well, yes, that would be a little premature now, wouldn't it? No, I was thinking of a bridal shower. I know it really isn't my place. After all, you are her sister. But then I thought it might be very difficult for you to organize such an event. I would like to take care of the details for you. We could have it here at Llanfair or at my house or wherever you'd like, but I would like to help.
I appreciate the offer.
Good, then it's settled. We will be co-hostesses.
I said I appreciate the offer. I will think about it. Thank you. Now, you have more on your mind.
More?
Gabrielle, what do you really want?
Oh, Viki, you make it sound like I have ulterior motives. It's very simple. I just want to throw her a shower. After all, Tina is my oldest and dearest friend. We go back. All right. You have caught me. I do have another reason for throwing this shower.
Max,
Yes, and you know how stubborn he can be.
like Asa.
They're two of a kind. That isn't surprising, of course, now that we know that they are father and son. But, Viki, that is the exact problem. I have tried everything in my power to get him to accept the reality.
He won't accept Asa, you mean?
He thinks that if he accepts Asa into his life, that he will have to forget his own parents, his own childhood, forget the ranch that he grew up on.
Trading one family for another.
Exactly. And knowing how important family is to Max, you can see what an impossible position this is for him.
You must help him out of it.
Well, I was hoping that you would say that. I thought that if you and I and Tina and Megan got together, well, we could work towards a reconciliation between Asa and Max.
One thing for sure. There has been too much pain, too much separation. Our family needs love and the word you used.
Reconciliation.
Yes. Go ahead, give the shower. We will do it together.
Thank you, Viki. You won't regret this, I promise you.
Laura, we're alone and it's safe, okay? Okay? Come on, let's go sit down. You'll tell me the whole story. Come on. Take your coat off. Give me your pocketbook.
Well, it all started when Papa got into trouble with the mob back in Philly. Greg was working as a protection agent, and he forced Papa to pay up, but the business went sour, and Papa fell behind on his payments.
So then Gregory started making threats then?
To burn down our restaurant or hurt our family, Papa didn't come up with the cash, and he would have made good on those threats, except the...
Except what? Except what, Laura?
One night, Greg came into the restaurant while I was waiting tables, and he saw me, and he looked at me, and I knew what I had to do. I couldn't say anything to anyone because they would have done something crazy, especially Papa. So one night after closing, I went to Greg's. It was a small price to pay for the safety of my family. But like most blackmail, the payments didn't stop, they just increased. And when Greg asked me to marry him, what choice did I have?
I can figure out the rest. The fake suicide was your way of escaping from Greg.
I fooled myself into thinking I could just get away from him. I'd just get rid of him for good. That was just wishful thinking. I should have known he'd never let me go. Now that he's found me again, he'll never let me escape again, Dad, ever.
It's an overused phrase, but you're a sight for sore eyes. You look wonderful, sweetheart.
Well, there's one thing that could make me feel better. Is Jake here? Did he say he was coming to see me?
Your father comes to visit, and you ask about, No. I don't know about Jake. But you have me and your brother and the rest of the family. I've told you before, Charlotte. The Hessers must stick together if there's going to be any...
and only count on each other. I haven't memorized that yet. I have it carved in my heart, as you might say. But I've learned the Hesser way isn't my way.
Don't say that, Charlotte. You're one of us, whether you like it or not.
Well, I don't like it. Being a member of our family means hurting anyone that gets in our way. Then you can keep the Hesser name and everything that goes along with it.
I've apologized 1,000 times. I've tried to explain, haven't I? My involvement with Porter, my place in Sarah's disappearance.
Her murder. She's dead now, remember?
Oh, sweetheart. Sweetheart, everything I did because I wanted to guarantee your happiness. Any loving father would have done the same thing.
I wonder if any other loving father would also try to blow up the man his daughter loves.
Charlotte, I know you blame me for the bombing in Jake's room. But if you only let me explain, I could tell you...
Don't bother. I was there, Daddy. I was in the garage. I was in the backseat of your limo. I heard you order the hit. I heard you tell Tommy to take care of Jake. I know how you operate.
Then you know that if I intended to kill someone, that someone would be dead. Jake seemed to be in pretty good spirits.
Daddy, will you stop lying to me already? I heard it.
You what? You heard me tell Tommy to get rid of Jake? But obviously and apparently you didn't hear the end of that conversation. Charlotte, the explosive that I put in Jake's phone was more bang than blast, just in case he didn't open it in time.
Oh, come on. What are you trying to tell me? That you were just trying to scare Jake to keep him away from me?
I don't know. I should have told you sooner. But I was bound by my silence to Porter and the FAB. Or when I saw you, that the hate in your eyes, when I felt that you thought I could conceivably kill somebody you loved. Charlotte, I hate to tell you the truth, but how could I? Porter had me in his grasp. One breach of security, one slip. Oh, Charlotte, don't you understand what I'm saying? But Porter had me a prisoner in our agreement.
Poor Carlo has, sir.
I'm not asking for sympathy, Charlotte. But I still think you should have a husband who can love you and is capable of loving you the same way you're capable of loving him. If that's another crime I'm guilty of, then I plead guilty. Oh, Charlotte, I am sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of this happen.
You're right, Daddy. I do love Jake more than I thought I could ever love any man. And even though I went into this marriage with my eyes open, I thought I was just so sure.
Sure of what? This marriage, since the very beginning, there's been something wrong with it. I felt it before, now I know it. What is it, Charlotte? I saw Jake a little while ago. He was in Megan Gordon's apartment. What's going on, Charlotte? Tell me about it.
All right. You're bound to find out anyway. But before I tell you, promise me that you won't blame Jake.
It's okay, Charlotte. I'll tell your father myself.
No, Greg, I feel awful about this. I mean it. You believe me, don't you?
Yeah, I believe you, Doc. But it's okay. I wanted to get a shot at Dr. Dan myself. I just wish you clocked him instead of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I think the good news is that I'm almost positive your nose isn't broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. But let's get some ice on that just to keep her from bleeding, okay?
Of course, ice.
Thanks.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You guys have done enough. I just want to get my wife and get out of here. Have you seen her where she is?
Actually, yes. As a matter of fact, she went into the bathroom. She was kind of upset, so she's just getting herself together.
Women, huh? They hate it when we fight over them. They hate it when we don't. Which reminds me, did I ever tell you that I was a boxer?
Yeah, about 3 times you told me that.
Tony Valiant, that's what they called me. It was an amazing... I remember my first fight. It was against a guy, Mike the Mongoose McCoy. Why did they call him the Mongoose? Andy, can we get a beer for my pal?
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked me that question. It was an amazing thing. He kind of wiggled.
Hey, come on, there is no reason to be upset, not anymore.
Haven't you been listening to me? Didn't you hear?
Yes, I heard you. You don't love Greg. You only married him because you were protecting your family, and now you want out. Isn't that what you said? That's right. And the only reason why you were giving me the cold shoulder is because you were protecting me, right?
Dad.
Weren't you?
Yes.
Come on, don't stop. Let it out, Laura. Let it out.
Dad, you don't know how hard it's been pushing you away all this time when all I wanted to do was have you near me. You don't know how desperate I've been. Oh, God, every time Greg touches me, my skin crawls. The only way I can stand it is to just close my eyes and pretend it's your touch. It's you that wants to make love to me.
There is no need to pretend. These are my arms around you, no one else's. And these are my words, straight from my heart. I love you. Do you hear me, Nora? I love you. What's wrong, Laura? Why are you stopping?
Because I can't do this to you or to myself.
Hey, Laura, I just told you I love you. Do you think I'm gonna let a bozo like Greg Ellis stand in our way?
You don't know him. You don't know how dangerous he can be.
Trust me. I'm not terrified of him.
Well, maybe you're not, but I am. You know, even if we stand up to him, he can still hurt my family or my father. He'll always have that hold on me, Dan.
You know, you're forgetting the most important thing. It's that you love me.
Oh,
Laura, you've been running from me. That's the past now. Now tell me, do you love me?
What difference does it make? I'm married.
Now, Laura, tell me, do you love me?
Yes, of course I do.
Just seems to me that with everything that's happened, people have just they just started forgetting why you and Sarah were kidnapped in the first place.
Well, to keep us from testifying against Johnny and Carlo.
But now we know who ordered the kidnapping, Megan.
Yesterday, Alex and Troy found out that Porter had offered Carlo a little deal. Offered Carlo amnesty if he helped Porter nail all the drug bosses.
You see, it was Porter's way of ensuring that Carlo and Johnny would stay out of jail so that his plan would succeed.
Well, are you saying that Porter masterminded this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Some big shot in Washington told Alex this. So that means that we can take the gloves off.
I don't understand.
They have nothing to hold over our heads anymore, Megan. We can testify against Johnny Dee, Carlo Hesser, Fred Porter, and everybody else who was involved in this. And if it takes the rest of my life, I'm going to make sure that...
Stop!
Well, what's the matter?
God, all this talk about nailing Hesser and getting Porter, I'm just so sick of it. It's all this anger and hatred and vengeance. It's taken over our lives. And I know Sarah would want it to end now. Even if we get all of the Carlo Hessers in the world, it's not going to bring Sarah back. Just let it go. For God's sake, just let it go.
No, Megan! Damn it, how can you say something like that?
Maybe this isn't the right time, Jake. You're upset, my father's upset. Maybe later would be better.
No. Waiting isn't going to make this any easier, Charlotte. Your father wants to know what's going on with this marriage. It's up to me to tell him. I told you I was going to be honest with your daughter from the start. I never wanted to hurt her. I care about her. But I don't love her.
Then why did you marry her?
Daddy, the marriage was my idea. Jake fought it all along until finally I was able to convince him that it was the only way. I believed that you were going to try to kill him, and I couldn't let that happen. And I couldn't let Sarah go on suffering, and if there was anything I could do to help, I wanted to.
You hear that, Carlo? Despite all the rotten stuff you've done in your life, despite the rotten things you've done to her, she somehow managed to turn out to be a good, caring woman.
A woman that any other man would be proud to love, except you, apparently.
Jake and I have always been honest with each other. No illusions, right, Jake?
That's right.
Ah, Charlotte, you don't have to put this act on for me. I can see how he's breaking your heart.
Mr. Hesser, if you wouldn't mind, could I have a moment alone with your daughter, please?
Mind, you bet you're sweet.
Daddy, please step outside for a few minutes.
Oh, but Charlotte...
Daddy!
All right. For just a few minutes.
I'm sorry if that hurt, Charlotte, but I just had to clear the area.
I understand. It's better that he knows everything. Why don't you come sit down?
It's better that you understand everything, too. I will always be grateful for the fact that you saved my life and for you joining my side and turning against your father. I know that was a big move on your part. I only wish that everything we did could have saved Sarah, but it didn't. And I want you to know that as long as you're in the hospital, I will be here for you. I will stay by your side. But as soon as you're released and you go home, I want this marriage annulled. I'm sorry, but we both knew it was going to end this way.
Like we said, no illusions.
That's right. I guess I should get going. Your father already thinks I've overstayed my welcome as it is. You take care, okay, sweetheart? I'm sorry.
Sure, that nothing is going to bring Sarah back, but if Johnny Dee, Carlo, Hesser, Fred Porter, if they're not prosecuted, that means that Sarah died for nothing. Megan, you don't want that.
No, I don't want that. I want Carlo Hesser to pay for what he did to Sarah.
Okay, then we have to do what is right. You have to stand in a court and tell the truth in front of a judge and a jury. And it's not just going to be you. It's going to be me, Cord, Tina, Jake. All of us who had a chance to testify months ago will do it now. For Sarah.
Yes, for Sarah.
Okay. Now, I don't mean to come down on you. God, it's just... I know that we can never have Sarah back. She's gone. The only thing we can do now is we tell the truth.
I know you're right. And I know why Sarah loved you so much. You made her feel stronger.
She made me feel it.
Yeah, it's funny the way that worked. Okay. So we'll talk to Herb Cowles and give him our testimonies as soon as possible.
All right, God, thank you. Thank you. I knew I could count on you.
Listen, I think I'm going to leave and let you two spend some time alone together.
No, it's okay. I think right now this is the time that Megan should get home and...
Home? No, I wanted
rest.
to help.
No, you have. You have. Right? We've got everything taken care of. This is all just about finished. And you've been through enough today.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Bye, Alex.
Okay, I'll walk you out. You know what? If I planted these, they'd probably be up by springtime.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Sarah wanted.
Yeah? And it would be something really beautiful to remember her by.
Hey, Alex.
What?
Thanks.
All right, let's see. We've got the food, and we've put down the menus here. We've got balloons, everything, and even some ideas for some party games.
Silly.
Yes. But what would a shower be without silly party games? Viki? Viki, you all right? Viki?
Mom? Gabrielle, is there something wrong with my mother?
Kevin, I don't know. We were just going over a list.
No, I'm fine. I'm very tired.
Oh, Viki, I do hope I haven't worked you too hard.
No, it's not you. I have to learn to go slow.
Yes.
Gabrielle, I think maybe Mom needs a little rest now.
Of course, of course. I can let myself out, Kevin. Viki, I'm so looking forward to this party of ours. In fact, I think that we're going to make a marvelous team together.
I want you here beside me.
Oh, Viki, I'm so honored. But are you sure that I'm ready for this?
No false modesty, my dear. We both know that you are. Everybody, please come in now.
Viki, what's going on?
Yeah, Mom, you made it sound like it was life or death.
In a way it is, Kevn. It is the future life of our family.
Lynn, you know what the hell's going on?
I'll let Viki do the talking.
I have an announcement to make. From now on, there will be a new mistress of Llanfair. Her name is Gabrielle. It comes as no surprise to any of us that we could not have managed the past few months without her wisdom and her guidance and her loving care. And since she and Max are now true Buchanans, I feel the time has come for me to step aside and to place my crown and my scepter in her very capable hands.
Hear, hear.
I don't understand. I mean, we all adore Gabrielle, but what's going to happen to the rest of us?
Well, please allow me to explain. Viki has decided that it is time that she retire to a beautiful clinic nestled in the mountains called Locust Valley. There she and Clint will rest very peacefully and very happily for the rest of their days.
And you're going to go along with this?
Whatever Viki wants is what I want.
What about us? And Cord, Tina, and CJ?
Well, Tina and Cord, they're taking the apartment above the garage. And you and Joey, well, I've enrolled you in Castle Cliff School in Philadelphia.
That's military school.
Yes. It'll do wonders for your self-discipline, Joey. And Jessica, darling, you must be so proud. You have been accepted at the Lycée Suisse in Geneva. That's in Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Yes, darling, you'll come out looking like Heidi, only much better dressed. Oh, Bo, I see a skeptical look on your face. Don't worry. Megan, you mustn't worry about a thing, darling. You will be welcome in your old homestead anytime. Of course, call first. You see, Max and I will be so terribly busy redecorating. We have so much entertaining to do. Ah, the time. It does fly, doesn't it? I'm afraid you must say goodbye now. Llanfair now belongs to the new branch of the family, the Holden Buchanans. Ta-ta. Goodbye. 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 It doesn't have to be a fantasy, Gabrielle. If you play your cards right, this beautiful world could all be yours.
Oh, Dan, I never intended for this to...
Neither did I. What happened? You told me you loved me.
Oh, I told you a lot of things. Is that all you heard?
Well, it's the only thing that matters.
Oh, but it isn't the only thing.
What?
If only you'd met me before Greg came along and ruined my life.
He hasn't ruined anything. Think about it this way. If it weren't for Greg, we never would have met.
We met too late. Did you see? It's too late. He'll never let us stay together. He'll never let us be happy.
He can't stop anything. Nothing can change the way we feel about each other, Laura. Nothing. You know what my best combination was? It was 2 jabs, right hand, hook to the body, hook to the head. Boom! I knocked out a guy once, bang, right to the campus. Which reminds me, did I ever tell you about the time they told me to take a dive against a guy named Nine Fingers Franklin?
Not another one.
Why did they call him Nine Fingers? Because one time they asked him to take a dive, and he said no. So you know what happened? Chop, chop. Goodbye.
Ow,
Yeah, but it didn't stop him from making a fist, and we went about 15 rounds one time. It was unbelievable.
Stop!
Head. Stop! But, you know, Greg, I didn't even tell you who won the fight.
I don't care. I just want to know where my wife is.
Well, as a matter of fact, I just went back to the bathroom and, she isn't there. She must have, you know, snuck out when we weren't looking.
Well, somebody must have seen where she went.
Oh, if it makes him shut up, I'll tell you.
Why don't you just have another beer and mind your own business, okay?
Wait. You saw where my wife went?
Yeah, red hair, built for speed. She left eons ago.
All right, well, I know that, pal, okay? Where did she go?
Better ask Dr. Danny. He was with her.
Hey! Greg, did I ever tell you when I sparred Iron Mike Tyson?
Shut up!
Had a neck like a pit bull, that guy.
Whew.
Hello? Who's there? Jake? What are you doing standing in the dark?
I'm thinking.
Thinking about what?
Thinking about what it's going to feel like.
Well, what's it gonna feel like?
What it's going to feel like when we don't have to use Charlotte anymore. What it's going to feel like when we don't have to be afraid of her father, what he can do to me. What it's going to feel like when we can just be free to be together.
Well, it's probably gonna feel really nice.
It's not a dream anymore, my dear. I told Carlo everything.
Everything? What do you mean?
Everything. I told him everything. If looks could kill, I would be a dead man right about now. Charlotte backed me up, but I think finally Carlo realizes and has to accept the fact that this marriage was only in name.
It was, but you said that...
Was, that's right. Because before I left the hospital, one of the nurses told me that Charlotte gets out tomorrow night. So, that means that once she is home, I can get this marriage annulled.
Does she know about this?
Yeah, I told her. She seems to understand. I thought she would give me a fight about it, but nope, she didn't. She was great about it, from start to finish.
Wow, what about me?
What about you? You've been great from start to finish. It goes without saying.
Yeah, well, you can say it anyway if you want. I know I've been trying to be a good sport about all of this, but the thought of you being married to Charlotte and my having to live here alone...
Don't worry about that. That chapter of our life, entitled Charlotte Hesser, is now closed. How is Beau?
He's surviving. It's hard for him. I mean, everything in the house reminds him of Sarah. It's as if she's still there.
I'm sure it's going to be like that for a long time.
Yeah. Jake, promise me something.
Promise you what?
Promise me that we are not going to waste 1 second of our lives, and that we're never going to forget how precious our love is.
I promise.
Really, only one thing counts for me right now. Yes, my career and fame and fortune, that's all very nice. But you and I, that's what's most important to me. I want us to have a family. I want us to be together always.
Always.
I knew it was coming. I knew it all along, but when he said it, when I heard the word...
I can't believe anyone could be so cruel.
Jake isn't cruel. He's loving, he's kind. He's everything I ever wanted. The thing is, he just doesn't want me here.
I realize how much he means to you now. And now I know just what I have to do.
Daddy, there's nothing anyone can do. Jake and I are finished. as soon as I'm released, he wants to have the marriage annulled. I've lost him forever.
Sweetheart, I may have disappointed you in the past, but you know where my heart is, don't you? Would I ever let anyone hurt my little girl, huh? Yeah, it's better. Now, I want you to tell me one thing. Do you love Jake?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really love him? Enough to fight for him?
Yes. But I don't know how.
I know how. But you must do exactly as I say. Now, if you want to keep Jake, the first thing you have to promise is no more tears. And then after that, I want you to get Jake to make love to you. And I know exactly how to make him do it.
General Hospital next.